Raso Pictures proudly presents The Mentors. The Mentors Show proudly brought to you by
Our next guest is an artist and entrepreneur who has swam against the tide, doubled her hand at customer relations as well as TV before finally settling in her purpose, which is makeup artistry and hairstyling. And she is the lady behind the amazing looks you have seen so far on the show, that is Makeup Wise and My Hair. Welcome, Claret Baraba. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
Thank you so much. You are also the founder of the Sununu Effect, which is a mobile studio that caters to the needs of people in the comfort of their homes.
Yeah.
Who are you, really?
Okay, Claret Baraba. I know a lot of people, when I was in school, they say Baraba, but it's a Richiga word. It's a Richiga name, Baraba.
Baraba.
Mm.
Okay.
So that's me. I started the Sununu Effect around 2017, coincidentally, in ways we'll talk about. Sununu is my childhood nickname. My maternal grandma gave it to me because it's a little yellow flower that used to make me so happy.
You blow it and then it's
and then when you
passes
sing
white
to it,
stuff.
Sununu Pavana and Jizavu, the little insects keep popping in and out.
Yes.
Yeah, so I used to love it so much, and it made me happy. Like, as a very quiet child,
Yeah.
I didn't laugh much, I didn't talk much, I didn't cry. And then my grandma is like, okay. Every time she sang this, it made me so happy. So I like to name the things that mean a lot to me, attach names to them that make sense, that I'll look up to. So Sununu was it. When I thought of all the 101 studio names, hair names, I was like, nah, that's
Sununu it is.
Yes.
So how then does the business come to life?
So my background, my career started in 2013. I worked with MTN. I did customer relations on the helpline, with the general helpline and mobile money. And then in 2016, I worked in an agency. I threw myself in the deep end. It was new to me. But then I developed a lot of interest in digital relations and digital social media, really. So I moved to this agency in 2016. I worked with them till end of 2017. And then I took a break. And then had to refocus. But while completing my work period with the agency, a friend, like an old friend, like a former workmate, called me and said, "Hey, I saw you with this really nice hair. Who did it for you?" I was like, "I did it. I've never done it for anyone, but if you're willing, I can do it for you too." Like, yeah, I want you to be the one to do it. I mean, why would anyone else do it? And I think as starting to be pushed, the world does it, the universe does its things.
Yeah.
So I was starting to be pushed into my passion and what I'd always wanted to do since I was little. I had a very crazy passion for hair. My auntie used to always be said, like, "This girl is always with a magazine in the mirror doing her hair. You can't have that." She needs to read a book. So I read a lot of books when I was little and combed a lot of my hair. Yeah. So after the agency, I worked with BBC. I did news anchoring.
How?
It was so wild for me. It was so wild.
You'd
for
never
me.
gone to school for it at
No,
all?
because I'd always wanted to be on TV, right? In my P7 back, my cousin was working on Teens Club. I knew I would be on TV. Like, I would always be like, I need to watch Rachel. She's on Teens Club. I want to be on Teens Club. I think my mom was like, "That's chick. No, you're not going anywhere for now." So I got to know there's openings for news anchors in UBC. I said, okay, what do I need to know? What do I need to do? I need to know the job description. Mama was like, you need to go for it. I was like, it's out of my line of work, really,
Yeah.
you know. But then they're like, do I need to go to the field because I fear the field because I'm
Oh my
some
God, me
stuff,
too.
you know? And she's like, no. Do I need to report news? Will I be told that? Yeah. What do I really need to know? You need to know how to present the news. You need to be willing to learn. I said, I have time. That's not my problem. I got this. Let's go for it.
Yeah.
So I did go for it indeed.
And that's how.
And that's how. But like, because I wasn't required to be there the whole day,
Yeah.
at least according to my contract, I started to get so many clients that wanted to, hey, a friend told me you did their hair sometime. And then I was always worried because like around 2017, I set out in town. I looked everywhere. I'm like, what are the rent charges like? What goes into starting a salon business? Because I really love this, but what happens?
Yeah. You did your research before starting the business.
Yeah, I did
Okay.
go around looking. And then it was like, you need to pay like 1 point something for rent. You need to have a team. And for me, I'm a strong believer in process.
Yeah.
I don't believe that you can set a business out of the blue with no interest or research. Oh,
Yeah.
you must have asked a few people some
Yeah.
question like,
Yeah.
how do you do that? Or seen how they do it. So when I moved around, I gave up that dream. I was like, who's going to spend all
There's a
that
lot
money
of
when you
stuff
could even
involved.
fail?
Yeah. Oh my God, yes.
I was like, you could even fail after you've invested so much. So I don't need this. Then when this lady called me, she's like, listen, while you are going to do my hair, I've also thought about the fact that you should have to come home. I'm like, but you stay far. She's like, yeah, I stay on Gaza Road, I'll pay the transport. Put your charge, put the transport fee, and then if it exceeds, because you've not been this side before, I'll take care of it. I said, okay. So I can actually do your hair for mom, that's okay. Like, you have a baby and I can't leave the baby to go to Kampala to do my hair. Okay. So once I did her hair, it took me a while. I didn't, like, at that day, I respected every salon person that had done hair below 2 hours. I said, wow.
How long did it take you?
It took me a while because I had work. So I told her I have work, so I have to first finish up with work, then I'll come to you. So I go to her around 3:30, maybe 4. We started. Please tell me why I left this place at midnight. Yeah.
That's over 8 hours.
Yeah.
6 to 8 hours of
maybe,
hair.
Okay, like maybe 11 something were done, and then her and her husband
Yeah, but
dropped me off
still,
at my house. in
nevertheless,
Kisasi at the
that
time.
is a long period of time.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Were you pleased with the look?
She had it in for 3 months intact, and it looked amazing. I was like, you could be onto something.
Okay.
She'd always send me a photo every few weeks. This is what it looks like now. I love it so much. It's still full. It's still, my scalp didn't hurt. I didn't lose any hair. I'm like, maybe it's coming to life. I was like, yeah, but maybe really not, because I wasn't confident enough. We struggle a lot with confidence in our work as artists.
Yeah.
Reaching a point where you say, I am the best.
Yeah.
You'll have in a month 30 days and 10 maybe or 3. There'll be days where you wake up and you're like, oh my God, what am I even doing?
Yeah.
On top of having creative block on some days,
Yeah.
it is so hard.
This morning you told me, while you made me up, you said, I can't believe I get to wake up and do people's makeup. And you said it so happily. I even asked you, so are you happy with where you are now? What did you say?
My heart is full.
You said your heart is full and you're very happy.
It's full. For me, how I understand makeup is I'm not trying to cover up anything. For me, what I'm always trying to do with every makeup look is enhance your best features.
Yeah.
That's why for some people, when they ask, I need to do my makeup, I say, what's your skin tone like?
Yeah.
What's your skin like? could you send me a photo of yourself without makeup? I want to see what are your best features.
Yeah.
How can I bring them forward?
Mm.
For me, it's like an art. I did art through school and I was so good at it. But while I didn't get to paint per se, I did everything else. I drew, I sketched, I did what, but I didn't paint. Yeah. Painting people's faces has been very, very satisfying for me. A very rewarding experience.
Yeah.
The interactions, the different personalities, who they are, the things I learned from them, being a part of their big day like that. Like, I think it's such an honor for someone to say, I want her to be the one to do it.
Yeah. And I've also come to realize that your job right now requires a lot of communication. In fact, besides the skill that you have and your talent, which is painting people's faces and bringing looks to life, enhancing their beauty,
Yeah.
You must be excellent at communicating with clients, because I understand, and you've told me before that there are some hard ones. There are those that are very easy to work with, but then on a bad day, you're going to have to work on someone who doesn't understand you and you don't understand them. What can you say about communicating with clients so far? Any lessons you have learned?
So about communicating with clients, right? Most of my career before hair and makeup became my thing fully. I had to communicate 3/4 of the time. It was communication. Even TV was communication.
Yes.
Yeah. Actually, the whole career was communication.
Yeah.
Talking to people, you need to be an open canvas, like a blank canvas on your side to receive, to be ready to anticipate their needs, what they'll communicate to you, how they'll communicate it. There is no A, B, C, D. There are people that will say, if you call me, I can't do calls. My day doesn't allow me to do calls because I'm so busy. I can't text. I can't respond to text. I'll respond maybe 2 hours later or a day later. But talking to people has to come with a lot of patience, and I would say lucky, but I've also been blessed to be a very patient person. Not to blow my own trumpet, but
naturally,
I really am patient with people. Like, even when they're stretching me out to my limits, I always have the patience enough to say, hey, that makeup that you want, that hair that you want, the style, do you want us to do a phone call? Do you want me to meet you in person? I'd like to advise before we go into, this is a style I want to do for you.
Yeah.
Even like a lot of clients ask me, you're a makeup artist, you're a hairstylist, why are you asking me what kind of dress I'm wearing?
Oh, okay.
Why are you asking me what colors I'm wearing? Because I need everything to marry into each other, because I'm not just a makeup artist, I'm an artist at the end of the day. And seeing everything flow into each other, like you walking out and everything speaks that you are alive for this celebration. For me, it's a big deal.
So happy.
Yeah, it is a big deal for me. So I go down to the very detail, and I love details. So I need the details. Like the clients who ask, what's your package? I need this. I say, okay, yeah, but it might vary. What do you need? Like, I need to be able to tailor it to you. And they don't get that, because for them it's been, hey, I need you for my wedding. This is how much I charge. Okay, cool. Let me get back to you. Book the date, blah, blah. No, please don't book me like before you give me those details, because I need to know, can I make you happy? Can I satisfy your need?
Yeah.
What are you paying for? Are you getting the value for that service?
Yeah. So how important is communication in any profession?
I think communication is personal for me, because I've evolved, like the way I communicate, even as a person. Like from my personal experiences to my work, I've seen a lot of growth. Like in my work, I was used to, for example, calling back clients every now and then you ask, hey, are you happy with this?
Yeah.
Has the service been good to you? I'm following up. You made an inquiry. Would you like for me to give out the date, or you still want me to hold on to it for you? a lot of people would not get that because normally it's, hey, you booked, your payment, hey, you, and then some people would be like, why is she calling me so much? Jesus, I called you to inquire.
Yeah.
You don't need to call me every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to be considerate because I have seen what brides go through and grooms go through, like couples intending to get married, like what it's like to bring together that function.
Yeah.
It's a very stressful time.
Yeah.
So for me to learn how to be patient, how to communicate, like I've had to learn to be so calm.
Yeah.
It's a very stressful period, and they're like, church is in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You need to be leaving by now. Like church could be at the gate. But that stress and the anxiety, you have to stay so calm so the bride doesn't feel it.
Yeah.
They have to do their thing and get ready and leave, but you need to give them that calmness. You're going to have a good day. It's going to be perfect. Just
you're going to be the most stunning bride everyone has ever seen.
Yeah.
So we are going to take a short break, and when we return, we're going to talk a little bit about your work. The first time you styled my hair, I was like, what? I think everyone can attest. I even remember our producer saying, oh my God, you look so different. And then you said something about it. You said, I like for my looks to have their own character, the looks that you create, and that stuck with me. But we'll take a very short break, and we'll be back with Claret. Welcome back from that very short break. You are still watching The Mentors, and you're hanging out with me, Blessing, as I hang out with my stylist. I'm so proud to call you my stylist because I love everything that you have done. And definitely I am probably one of the people that can attest to what the Sununu effect is doing, but that is not my story to tell. So back to you. So you deal with hard clients sometimes. What do you tell clients who want a particular look and stick to their guns, and then you know that look is not good for them?
I think I learned something about building a brand, right? As a brand, you have to know your long-term goal, right? If I jump onto a project, if I jump onto a job, and I wouldn't like to use the word jump like that, but if I attach myself to something, it has to align with who I am as a person. When a client comes to me and says, hey, this is the kind of look I want, and this is what I have in mind, I like to say, okay, is this for your wedding? Is this for... Try and understand, what kind of dress are you wearing?
Yeah.
So I want to say, hi, listen, that dress is not working.
This is not working. I'm out.
It's like, hey, what kind of dress are you wearing? Okay. What kind of hair are you doing? Sometimes I'm not doing the hair, sometimes I'm doing the hair and the makeup.
Yeah.
Yeah. What kind of... I want to know the full look, and then I'll say, you see, if you switch it up like this, it will look better, because maybe your forehead, like my forehead, like I'll be like, your forehead is longer, or your forehead like will be flattered, or your face stands out more if you don't cover 3/4 of your face in hair, or it will make it look so heavy. There's so many things about creativity that I love, but that's the fact that it's elastic. Like there's changes that can be made without taking away from the look, but just enhancing it for that person. So I'll advise, but in the event, there's very few times I've gotten people that don't want to go with the look that I propose. And if I do go with the look that I propose, 99% of the time the person is happy. 99% of the time the person is happy, because they get, and a part of being a professional is knowing that you know, but being able to communicate that, hey, listen, this is my input on this. I'm not saying it because I don't like what you're going for, but I think you would appreciate your decision more if I gave you my input and you took it
Yeah.
in this direction,
Yeah.
yeah,
And it's
like I don't have to impose on you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Which still comes back to communication. And then still about communications is an element of putting a price to the services that we offer. And most of us struggle
Yeah.
with sharing the rate card.
Mm.
And I think sometimes it's also caused by lack of confidence in the services that we offer.
Sure.
But how has that been for you, and how do you determine how much you charge, and how do you communicate the prices for people to not say, oh my god, that is a lot for something so small?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because makeup looks so small.
So small. Yeah.
One of the first things I'll tell you is, as an artist and as a creative person, there's no amount of money that you can attach to your service that will give it value to you as a creative, in the sense that if this glass, its worth is $1 million, and I said, hey, this glass is $1 million, tomorrow if I sold 3 glasses, it will still not come back to how much I've invested. Because my kind of work, the investment does not stop on the product, the airtime, the data to communicate. It goes back to being able to stay passionate every day that passes, even when no one believes in you, even on the days you woke up broken and you're not able to deliver 1,000%. Just being able to still be that creative and live up to your vision and your dream. Because for a creative person, you see it in your mind before it comes to life.
Yeah.
But with that history, right? Pricing for me, like how I've had to learn to do it, is I had to get a business manager
Okay.
to shake up how I used to price, because it wasn't an issue of, oh my God, that's too little, that's too much. It's how much have you invested so far? Can you price per product?
Yeah.
How much do you use per product? When you do bridal makeup, what do you leave out? What steps do you leave out of your beauty routine? I don't do this, I do this, I do that, I do that. Okay. When you're doing casual makeup, like I say, hi, I'm going for a wedding, quickly, I just need to look amazing. What do you leave out? What do you include of the whole process? How much does each one of those take? How much time do you spend on this person? Because one of the commodities I'm pretty much being like charging people for is my time.
Yeah.
Right? How much time goes into that look? The research, the skill set, because you constantly need to sharpen your tools. And your tools are your hands to your brain. Yeah. And then that's how you come to the price. I need to be able to say, when my brush gets lost along the way, am I able to replace it? When the product runs out, am I able to say, hey, vendor, supplier, I need 10 of this, 3 of that, 5 of this, without feeling the pinch, because the business should be able to cater for itself after a particular time. Am I able to pay myself?
For the services?
Yes, for the work I'm providing.
Yeah.
Am I able to see in the long term my dreams come to life? What is the long term goal? Can we afford it in a space of 10 to 5 years or 2 days? You need to put all that. Do you pay taxes? You know, all those fees that you incur, all the whatever your input, your investment, you need to price it, because when you don't price those things, you don't know how much it. Because it's okay. Because if you're able to say, I say, my 500 shillings, I'll do your makeup, for example, right?
Yeah.
And then you say, okay, but I have 200. If I am able to discount 300 shillings, I'm also able to discount 500 shillings. That's how I'll do it for you. Unless I'm doing it like, hey, blessing, you're my person. Come through. I need to do your makeup. I maybe have been doing this for a while. It's the least I could do for you. Yeah. It's different. But to price, you need to know your things. You need to know how much it means. You have to be present. You can't send someone to do XYZ for you. You need to be present the whole journey of the business.
story, do you think that is one of the reasons why small startups fail before they celebrate their second birthday? Because we start them as side hustles and then neglect them altogether.
One of the things I had to do was to quit my job to make this work. Two things. One, I saw a quote that said you need to find that sets your soul on fire.
Yeah.
The second thing, I watched an interview, Rihanna's interview, where she was saying she had to people asking, why aren't you doing music and doing Fenty? Why is your relationship private? And she said you need to nurture things. She had to learn to nurture things. For me, learning to nurture things is I had to say, do I want this to be a side hustle forever? Or do I want this to be my childhood dream that I used to get into the magazines and go to the mirror to do the same hairstyle in my hair for? Understand?
Yeah.
So having to step away from that side hustle and make it give it 100%, because it was like, there's a wax or dozen.
Yeah.
And how long do I have left before I go back to TV?
Yeah.
Or to go into agency again? But I was like, it has to work. And every day I'm going to make it work.
I think once also you know that this is going to become, well, your source of income, among other things, then you pay more attention to it, because you have to make it work by all means, because it has to return something to you.
I'd started seeing the possibility and what it could become through the bookings increased, and sometimes I wasn't readily available. And then I said, what would happen if I gave it more time? If I was giving it 1 hour a day, what if I gave it 3 hours a day? So I had to take on a makeup class, like a professional class. I said, let me give it time. Let me learn. Let me give it my all and see. If it doesn't work out, I'll know I tried, but I don't know where that determination came from. But I was ready to nurture it, to give it more time and to learn. Like every day that passes, I learn. If not from the client, it's from the way I deliver the service. And every client booking is like an experience, like a learning opportunity for me. There'll always be something to learn.
Yeah. So most of us, when you say you actually took a class to nurture your dream and see it come to life, most of us always have this thing of I'll winging it all the time. I'll YouTube it. No biggie. But that for me shows a little bit of seriousness and a lot of interest in what it is you're trying to grow. Yeah. So you would encourage most of us to take an extra class if need be.
Read something. Look up to the people that you look up to, the mentors, the people that inspire you. Learn a few things about them.
Yeah.
When you read autobiographies, I love autobiographies a lot. When you read autobiographies, it throws you into someone's life in a way that you're like, what? You actually went all out?
Yeah.
You don't know what's happening on your journey when you're present in that time. Like, it's very easy for you to say, I don't think I'm making any progress.
Yeah.
But celebrating the small wins, going back to see, like, curate your own map and say, nah, today I really messed up. It wasn't a good day.
Yeah.
It's hard, but you need to do it, because no one is going to tell you.
Yeah.
Those small things, when you see yourself in 3 years and you're like, oh, because I actually celebrated 3 years in July.
Congrats.
I was like, okay.
Okay. But was that without challenges? Have you encountered?
It wasn't without challenges. Has been some. Competing in a market where there's a saturation, like over the top saturation of makeup artists. There's so many makeup artists. There's so many hairstylists. Even if you want your makeup done for 1K, I'm sure in Kampala there's someone who can do it for you. You get. But knowing that it's been done before, I don't know what I'm going to do different, but I feel like I can deliver something different. And every day striving to be your best self, because you're constantly in competition with yourself. It's really one of the best things. The challenges are there. Operating a mobile salon, everyone will be like, what do you mean you don't have a salon? What do you mean? Like, I see your work.
Yeah.
It's great, but what do you mean you don't have a space? I said, I don't want a space. Because I've been indoors. I want to be outside.
Yeah.
I want, for me, and I had a dream as a child to have an ever-changing office. I don't know what that was supposed to be.
Really?
But
So
in
your
my
dream has
mind,
come to life.
I feel like it even hasn't yet properly. Because for me, my dream had always been an ever-changing office and a space where I can always be creative. Do you want us to shoot on the street? Yes, let's do that makeup and bring it to life. Please, what do you have in mind? Let's see how we can bring it to life. What's your wildest imagination?
Let's bring it to
happen.
life. And then you have collaborated with so many artists, so many creatives in the industry. I see you've collaborated with Malaika Ubwiza. I am also told you worked on the Sunday, that very popular Tonic song. Like those are outstanding productions. What has been your takeaway so far from the entire experience?
So I'm gonna mention someone really that was important along the journey.
Yeah.
I walked into her studio. That is Olga, makeup by Olga in industrial area. I walked into her studio the first time. I said, I want to do a makeup class, and someone said, you can teach me. And then she said, okay. So I walked in. I had done my makeup. I was ready for all the feedback. Tell me, what have I done wrong? And she kept looking at me the whole time, and I was like, is there a problem with my makeup? She's like, no, I'm so fascinated by your mind. She's like, and you really did a great job if you've never done a makeup class. I'm like, okay. Then she said, I'd love for you to be my student. So we worked together. Many of the projects that I did work on, like the Sunday, I'll credit her. That's her project. I learned from her that being an assistant on set, if I brought you along as my assistant, does not make you any less of a makeup artist. It means I feel you get my line of artistry enough to want to work with you on something that's important to me. Yeah. I've worked with a lot of creative artists, photographers, designers, and it's been an amazing experience. The amount of knowledge you pick up, the fascination of, wow, that's what goes into your job.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I would never have guessed.
Yeah.
You know, the location. It's been a roller coaster. There are days where you're like, okay, I need to step up my game. Interacting with different people. Like, I never pass up an opportunity to walk, to talk, to work, to sit with someone and say, listen, what inspires you? Why do you do this? Do you love it? Like, why this? There's a million and one things you could have done. Why this? What makes you happy? Why do you like to do this? And seeing you, like, I've been working on this and seeing how you prep, how you love to research before you get to see the person. For me, that is amazing. Like, it takes me back to my line of work. I'm like, what can we learn from Blessing?
Thank you. Thank you so much.
What can we learn from the people behind the scenes that bring this together?
Every experience should be a learning experience.
Yeah, that's something I live by.
Okay. And what would be your parting remarks generally for startups, for people whose dreams are on hold, for side hustles that we've abandoned?
Number one would be, know yourself. You get know yourself fully. Take every opportunity to learn, to understand who you are as a person. Because when you do that, it's easy for you to know that this job is not working for me. This business, I don't think I'll thrive. You understand? There's nothing wrong with being honest with yourself to say, I have a weakness. I procrastinate a lot. How can I stop that? I'm always late. How can I stop that? I'm always this. How can I do better? You get. But when you know yourself well enough, now that's the beginning. Because for any business to thrive, you need to know your strengths, your weaknesses, what opportunities do you have. coming to you? What opportunities can you go for? And what threats do you have? What challenges are you going to face? How can you anticipate and be ready for them? You understand? That would be like number one. But number two is, all things have been done by other people. There's no limit to what you can be. We are different. I feel like there's always, I don't know what the effect is called, but there's always like 10 people with the same idea on this planet. And then like one person will be lucky enough to do it.
Yeah.
And then they'll break out and someone's like, but that's the same idea I had on Thursday at 2 p.m.
The difference is one of you did and the rest of you cowered away from it.
And then you need to know your value as a person. Very many people, what they struggle with is, okay, but like, I'm not that person. I can't do it like that. I can't. Okay, but am I going to do a good job? You need to believe in yourself. Know what value you're bringing to the table and what you can become. Your inner child has to be nurtured always. You get, because once your creativity is always flourishing, you water it every now and then, it will grow.
And so on that note, thank you so much for coming to the show.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you for enhancing my beauty in ways I'd never known to do.
It's always my pleasure. I'll do it any day. You have amazing features.
Thank you so much. And for making me step out of my comfort zone. And with that, we hope that you were able to pick up a thing or two. And one of the things that I've realized as consistent so far with all the guests we've been having, everyone is encouraging us to read and research. Everyone is encouraging us to be a doer. And everyone has been encouraging us to pay attention to that business or startup that we start up, because if it's a side hustle and you treat it as such, then you might never really be able to see the results. It might die before it celebrates its first birthday. So thank you so much for staying with us. I'm Blessing Natrida, and I'll see you in another episode. Bye-bye.